Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
All right. I got a lot to cover.
Okay,
All right. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, good. First of all, welcome to Chicago. Hi.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you like Chicago?
I love Chicago. I've already had deep dish pizza. I think that's what you start with, right? Pretty good.
Which one?
I had Lou Malnati's this time.
Ah, there we go. All right. That's fantastic. That's a good start.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
That is a good start. Now, not that I stalked you on Instagram, but yesterday you were wakeboarding?
Yeah, I'm still really
Was
sore,
that,
yeah.
Was that yesterday?
That was yesterday. I live a great life now, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Very happy.
Can we all be you?
Yeah, you can come wakeboarding. Actually, I didn't wakeboard, my friend did, but I filmed it. I went tubing. That's a little easier. You kind of just float on the water. That's my style, yeah.
You know what? Filming is
Half the
basically-
fun,
it
right?
Is. It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna start with you get interviewed a lot. Is there ever been a question that no one has ever asked you and you're like, man, why doesn't someone just ask me that? And I'm gonna start and if you don't have a question, that's fine, and I'll move on and we can come back to it maybe, but is there something like you're ever just dying to say and no one ever asked and you're just like, come on, man?
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever walked out of an interview and been like, oh man, I don't think I got my point across, or, I mean, I talk and talk and talk and talk, so I don't know if there's anything stone unturned with me. If we get there, I'll just pipe up.
Awesome, please do.
Yeah.
Very nice. So now, I know this is a bit of a loaded question. When you write songs, every song is different. But with this last album, was the songwriting, did it feel different? Did you do something different?
It was completely different. I was in a totally different place in my life. And so, I mean, a lot of artists have said before, like, you have your whole life to make your first record, and then you've got 1 year to make your second, and that's totally true. So I spent years doing co-writes and working on my own music and living a life up until making my first record, and then I totally went through a really big life change, and I kind of lost myself. And then the record label was like, hey, it's time to make a record. And I was like, whoa, I don't even know who I am right now. Everything is going wrong in my life, and my life is falling apart. And they're like, okay, well, it's time to start. So I was like, okay, now I've got this beautiful opportunity to have this. I mean, at the end of the day, music is a very cathartic and therapeutic thing for me, but it became a job. And so what do you do when you're going through the roughest time in your life and you have to go to work?
Well, let's say divorce.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
PTSD. Mm-hmm. Depression.
Heavy depression.
Anything else thrown in there? Or?
Yeah, I was doing a lot of drugs. I was trying to numb myself.
Yep.
I had a lot of fun, but that's not the best way to do it, I don't think. But it was like this gift given to me. I didn't want to make the record. I didn't want to co-write. And I mean, I even told everyone, I said, I don't want to co-write with these producers and these songwriters who, in the past, I had fun. You know, I enjoyed doing that, but I just felt like I had to do this myself, and it was really the only way that I could make, I'm signed to RCA, which is a really big record label, a major label, and for me to make a record, I had to do it my own way. And I mean, I always say, let the world surprise you. And I asked the label to make it with my band, and they're like, okay, we don't care, just make it.
We just need something.
Yeah, just give us songs, okay? And so I went to Texas. I didn't leave my house. I was really, really manic. And my bandmates, who are my best friends, and they would take turns coming out to California, and they would just stay in my house with me for days on end, and we would just write, and whatever emotion I was going through, they just were like, okay, Elle, yeah, that's great, yeah, good, yeah, sure, we'll go down that avenue. And I think we probably made 30 to 40 songs, only 13 made the record, so there's a lot of really ridiculous songs that we have recorded that are really great that hopefully we'll put out one day. But it's just really interesting to look back and see kind of the roller coaster ride that everybody else was on with me. It was very interesting.
So when you perform these songs, are you reliving a lot of this?
I used to think that, like when I was younger, if I had an emotional song, it would like, oh, take me right back to it anytime I'd perform. But now, I really feel like
Oh, you're a pro.
Well, no. I mean, yes, I am a pro. But, I named my second record Shake the Spirit because I really went through a whole like spiritual and like emotional change. And I felt like having this outlet, my outlet is music. And I feel like I got a lot of darkness out of me, and making the record really got me through the hardest time I've ever had to go through in my life. And so now when I perform the songs, there's a couple songs that are really hard for me, and sometimes I'll turn back to the band and go, cut it, I'm not singing it. But most of them I can really just respect who I was when I made them. And I think I get a little bit of joy knowing that I'm not in that place anymore. And so I really enjoy the songs for what they are.
That you got through it.
Yeah, and it's more of like a celebration.
A triumph.
Yeah,
I like it.
Totally, yeah.
And do people know who these songs are about then, or?
I went through a pretty public divorce, and so people know that they're about some people. And to be fair, actually, okay, I guess that's bad. My big song, X's and O's, I didn't send it to my exes that it was about. And so I have some people that are a little pissed at me about that. But the deepest, toughest songs I did send, not for approval, just like, hey, by the way, I'm putting this out in the universe. And they said, good songs. So I just, you don't want to hurt anybody with art, but I really had to go through a really big process of healing and getting through something. And I don't know, maybe it was a little bit of a fuck you I wanted to send to them too.
There's nothing wrong with that. It is rock and roll, right?
Sometimes it feels good. I don't know.
You brought up X's and O's, and I think most people are familiar with that song. If not, they should be.
It got played a lot.
It got played a lot. But can you tell us a secret about it? Like no one else knows, like something odd that happened in like when you were recording, like I don't know, a squirrel broke into the studio or whatever it happens to be, or you were recording the video and you fell asleep and is there anything, just something secret?
I got heat stroke while I was doing the video. And I was, if you really want to know this, I mean, now it's
so
like
now we got to watch
vomit.
the video and go, okay, so she was throwing up.
I was
during
dying.
This.
Yeah. I was throwing up, running into my trailer. It was so hot, and I shouldn't have said that. I should have made up something about a squirrel. But yeah, that was a really, really hard video. And
wow, Chris, were you there? There was a squirrel.
Yes, but there was like this kind of intense scene where I'm surrounded by a bunch of naked men, and none of the men wanted to be there, like on top of other naked men. And I also didn't want to be in a pool of naked men, so it was really uncomfortable, and I have hated music videos ever since.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
So then, wait. There's a lot of questions that
yeah, I know.
Okay, so let's just go. So you don't do music videos anymore, or do you just do like the lyric videos and you're like, I'm done with it?
I try to avoid them.
Yeah.
I just, I don't know if I'm being a brat, but like, I don't like to do stuff that I don't want to do. And music videos are just really grueling, and it's not, I mean, you imagine like Britney Spears, you do it in like 3 days and they treat you so well. It's like, not an Elle King music video. No way. I'm like in a dumpster and they're putting me in high heels and like throwing food at me. It's like, okay, yeah, smile, look sexy. Like, no, I hate it. No.
Let's say you could be in any era making music. Where would you, where do you see yourself? Or where would you like to explore?
I don't know. I mean, I'm a huge Elvis fan, so I feel like I could have done. I just would have liked to like shake it about and make music back then. And if I could have like, been one of like Wanda Jackson's like groupies, and I think that would have been cool. I always dream of being in a girl group, and but at the same time, I really
Your
love.
career's not done. You still got time.
No, I still have time, and you know what? I've sang with Wanda Jackson, so
Yeah.
she's my friend. But I mean, I can appreciate and love and respect all these other genres of music, and all of them make up me, who I am. But I love making music now. I love being a different type of singer, and I love looking different. I love representing something that is me in this day and age when a lot of stuff is cookie cutter, and I don't know. I like being a little bit different in
Yeah,
today's
you're a
day and
badass.
age.
I like it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Which actually brings me up to a point on Instagram and online. You're very open. Is that a
Yeah.
good way of putting it?
I have been, yeah.
Yeah. Does that feel good? Do you feel it helps? Do you do it for a reason?
I mean, when I was going through everything with PTSD in like the really, really intense days, like the very beginning stages of it, when I didn't even really know what it was or what I was going through, I completely isolated myself. And I didn't know who to reach out to. And so one day I just started talking about it online. And it was a really weird thing, and a lot of people unfollowed me. My dad was like, click, can't, it's too much. But he's come around, we're cool, and he loves it now. But I really had to be open and honest, and it was kind of shocking, the actual like outpour of love and the connection that I got, and people writing to me about their traumas and their depression and things they've gone through. And the connection that I felt was so moving and beautiful, and every day, and like the more honest and open I was, the more love I got back and the more acceptance I got, and so that just proves that the more you talk about things that you're going through, the more it helps you heal. And so that's what really pushed me when it was time to put the album out. That's why, I talked about it on Good Morning America and stuff, and they're like, oh, so you're depressed and you've been dealing with stuff and you did drugs. It's like, ooh, yes, it's weird to talk about, but I mean, the things that have come from it have been so beautiful, and the connection that people have found from my music, and the more that you talk about it, the less it's icky, and the more powerful is to say, wow, I really went through something and I really got through that. And I just think it's so important to show people how beautiful life can be regardless of any mucky waters that you've been through, and how wonderful life can be, and how you can get to the other side of that. And I really do believe that I'm proof of that. And so I think it's important that if you've gone through that, it's important to share it.
And everyone goes through something.
100%. Yeah, totally. So, I mean, whether you've been through anything, as crazy as some people, you can't compare traumas or anything, but everyone can be empathetic and feel, I don't know, a connection of some sort, hey, I've been sad one day.
Yep.
That's enough for me,
Exactly. Now, I go down to South by Southwest, and when I go down there, I want to do something a little bit different, so I came up with simple questions with Chris Bro. So is it all right if I give you my simple questions,
Yeah,
Chris
love
Bro?
it.
You can skip these if you want. What's turning you on right now? What are you really excited about?
The Italian food I'm going to have after this. If I'm being honest, I don't know.
Heck yeah, I like it. What piece of movie or TV show memorabilia would you like to own?
Would I like to own?
Anything from a TV show or a movie.
I wish that I could have the halter top that Jenny wears in Forrest Gump. I do, when she goes up on the balcony. I want that.
Okay, I like it. That's awesome. Now, would you wear it or
I would
frame
wear
it?
that proudly every day of my
Or would
life.
you just frame it?
I would wear it.
You would wear it.
I would wear it.
I think that's your next video.
Okay.
What should every woman know?
What should every woman know? That love should start with themselves. Every person should know that.
And what should every man know?
Every man should open a door. Just open doors. Just do it. It goes a long way for men and women. Just open a door. Be nice.
Fictional character you'd like to hang out with for a bit?
Fictional character? Oh my gosh. Put me on the spot here.
We can skip it.
Can we come back to that?
We can come
No,
back to
I
it.
should know. Probably.
Because I only have one question left.
Well, what is it?
I always end my simple questions with Chris Bro with a happy moment. Any happy moment that you've ever had.
A happy moment.
Any happy
Okay,
moment.
I'll tell you why I love ABBA so much.
Oh, nice.
And the story sounds like it comes out of a bad thing. My father, he was an interesting father. He has since come around, but he didn't know what to do with me. And my father's an actor. My father's name is Rob Schneider, and he made some really big comedy movies in the early 2000s. He was on SNL. Did not know what to do with a kid. So he had to go to a premiere one time, and this was during like one of the times he had me, and so he didn't think I should get a babysitter. And so he told the limo driver, he brought ABBA Gold. And he told the limo driver to drive around Times Square and just replay ABBA for me because he thought I'd like it. And the limo driver must have felt sorry for me because that's kind of messed up. And he let me like do the hands up thing out of like the sunroof of the limo. And ever since then, I have loved ABBA. Yeah.
I'll categorize that as a weird happy moment. Yes.
I'll take it. I will take it.
Yeah, I like it. So I lied. There is one more question. Fans that are struggling out there, do you have anything you'd like to say to any fans that are struggling?
I think that the most important thing that the biggest lesson that I had to learn that, like I want to say, oh, I wish someone had told me that, but everyone has told me this, and it's just something that you have to come to terms with. And I always say that you have to show the world how to treat you, but you have to show the world by treating yourself that way. And I really treated myself so horribly for so many years, and I didn't realize that until you start to love yourself. And I make a joke because I talk about this every night on stage. And I say that loving yourself is the most rock and roll thing you can ever do, because only good things come from that. And only good, loving people come into your life that way. And so when you start your day every day by treating yourself with love, it kind of just sets everything like good dominoes in motion, and everything just kind of falls into place. And so, loving yourself and self-confidence and self-courage is like a muscle. You have to work it, you have to develop it, and you have to work on it every day. And that's something that took me I turned 30 this year, and it's taken me almost 30 years to figure out, and I feel like I've kind of gotten it. And I don't know, I just think it's so important to show people that, because my life is better than I could have ever imagined it, and I'm so happy. And so that's why I'm like, oh, just love yourself, be kind to yourself. And it's just the most important thing that anyone could ever do every day of their lives.
That's the perfect ending. You're singing now, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna sing now.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I hope that was our